Palantir is an absolute beast. It's super robust and it's very difficult to understand what they're doing. But I'm going to give you a chart right now just so you can understand the comparison of Palantir with its peers. Palantir is super difficult to understand, but it's even more difficult to land a contract with Palantir or Palantir to land a contract with you. But once you are with Palantir, we see it day in and day out. The contract will start for 20 million and all of a sudden the contract is worth 100 million a couple of years later. Once you're using Palantir, you don't get off of Palantir for the most part. Palantir's average contract is just a smidge under $6 million. I'm going to show you the chart in a moment. And the amount of clients that they have is approximately 125 clients. Their sales force of people that are actually pushing Palantir is just under 100, and they are ramping this up from just several dozen a year ago. Palantir is growing, and it's very important to understand it's not just the numbers in front of your face. It's understanding the macroeconomy that Palantir is trying to build. This is an article that was published by Blossom Street Ventures. They go on to talk about that some of the biggest companies have a very, very small ACV. ACV stands for average contract value. I'm not going to look into that, and I just want to compare Palantir to all of the other companies here. So below is the data of 73 SaaS companies. The average medium ACV was $49,000. That was the average of the companies, which means a lot of the SaaS companies that we're used to are doing a lot of quantity, not quality, quantity contracts with tons of different clients. Not a crazy quality entire enterprise, entire platform, but a lot of quantity small contracts. That is the difference between Palantir and a lot of its peers. So you got to understand why there's such a massive room for growth when it comes to Palantir, because they're not even messing around with small contracts and they're not worried about quantity. They're worried about quality and precision type customers. Eventually, Palantir will grow to smaller type of customers, and their average contract value is definitely going to go down because the amount of clients they have is going to go up. But I still believe that in 5-10 years, Palantir is going to be at top of the list. This is a list of all of the clients. If you go down around halfway, this is Palantir right here. Palantir has 125 clients, and their average contract value is just south of $6 million at $5.94 million. The number 2 spot right behind them is C3AI. They have 64 clients and their average contract is 2.447. C3AI is super duper concentrated. Now let's go look at Snowflake. Snowflake has 3,117 clients and their average contract is just $84,900. If you go a little bit lower, it's going to give you the final numbers. The median, you have 2,800 clients and the average contract value is $49,000. While the average, you would have 261,000 clients and your average contract value would be $234,000. It says increases in ACV aren't free. Usually, in order to increase ACV, it means some other metric of importance gets worse. For instance, the sales cycle gets longer, the close ratio comes down, and the number of leads needed to complete a sales increase. In order to achieve higher ACV, you have to focus on larger clients, which inevitably means more layers of management for approval, more time required to identify the decision maker, more layers of bureaucracy to fight through. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Palantir is at the peak of these SaaS companies. Palantir does what their competitors cannot do. Palantir is doing what their competitors are just starting to try to figure out how to do. When they figure this out in 5 to 10 years, Palantir is going to be light years ahead. Palantir keeps getting these huge contracts. $6 million average contract is big, but they keep getting bigger contracts. The thing is, they keep starting in a small or relatively small contract, and they keep expanding on that contract, expanding on that contract, expanding on that contract. We literally see it all the time being posted on Twitter, on YouTube, on all of our communities, on the Palantir website. All you got to do is follow along, and you're going to see that these contracts are coming to fruition. What I'm trying to say is this. Palantir has nearly the smallest amount of clients and by far the largest average client. As per this report, it's not easy to increase your average contract value. It is hard to increase it, and usually other things suffer. So while most companies are trying to increase their ACV, average contract value, Palantir already has a massive average contract value, which means Palantir is kind of working backwards, but in a very good way. They don't need to increase the size of their contracts. They just need to increase the amount of clients that they have. And that is exactly what they're doing in increasing their commercial capabilities, both domestically and abroad, and their government contracts, both domestically and abroad, both military and non-military contracts alike. Palantir is growing every single day, and with the political uncertainty, with the war that's happening in Ukraine and possible invasion of Russia or China, of other sovereign nations, you never know what's happening next. It seems like Palantir has such a crazy position right now that they achieved what most companies value so much, and that is larger average contracts. Palantir already got that. Now what Palantir is doing, they are diversifying their clientele. How are they doing that? They keep increasing the products that they are offering. First it was Gotham, then it was Foundry, now they have Apollo, and then they have Edge, and there are other projects that they are currently working on in the background as well. As long as they keep increasing their abilities, increasing their platforms, increasing their services, and increasing their sales force, not only will they increase their massive average contract size, but they're also going to increase slowly but surely not only the quality of their contracts, but also the quantity of their contracts. Palantir increased their deals closed by 157% year over year, and Palantir increased their billings by 35% year over year. They have 26% remaining deal value and another 86 of performance obligations, which means 86 is possible contracts as they're going to extend into the existing contracts, and deal value means this is 100% you will be getting this money. Their total customers grew 86%, domestic, abroad, government, non-government, so on and so forth. Palantir was criticized and mocked that they cannot get into the commercial space and that they're very reliant on government contracts. They will never grow into commercial. Lo and behold, now commercial is growing at a ridiculous pace, while the government now is starting to lag. So now people mock, criticize, and laugh at Palantir, including Miss Kathy Wood and ARK Invest, that they no longer have a niche. They're no longer valuable to government contracts. They're no longer blah, 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 blah. And little by little, they are awarded a $36 million contract that they're going to be doing a prototype for the Army's Titan program. It's not them only, it's also Raytheon, but I do believe that Palantir is going to get the contract. And Palantir is doing strategic partnerships with a lot of different companies, specifically Anduril, which I made a video the other day about this partnership, also for the Titan program. Guys, it's not hard to see what's up with Palantir. It's also not hard to see why there's so many haters on Palantir. It's also not hard to see why all of these haters think that all of a sudden we're meme-like investors, Palantir is caca, Palantir is doo-doo, Palantir is just nasty. Meanwhile, Palantir has the highest average valued contract. How is it possible that we suck so much and we are literally the most valuable SaaS enterprise company that there is when taking into account pure quality of contracts and size of average value locked? Pretty interesting if you ask me. Guys, go with your gut. This is not financial advice. Please subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll comment and say thank you if you comment and say that you subscribe to my channel. Don't listen to the freaking haters. Do what's good for you. Do your own research. But numbers don't lie, guys, and this is type of research that a lot of people are not going to do. This is the type of research that a lot of value investors are going to laugh at you on, because sometimes all they're looking at is what's right in front of them, and they don't look what's happening in 5 years or 10 years from now. Palantir is an absolute beast in my eyes. It is top of the line, top of class, and by the time people are going to realize how absolutely dope Palantir is, it's going to be too late for them to get in on that bull run. And we're going to be looking at them like, yo, you guys suck and you had your chance, but you ain't listening to Palantir Vision. You ain't listening to Amit. And you ain't listening to Tom Nash. You definitely ain't listening to the Adam Bergman Show because I have such a tiny channel and FTX don't want to sponsor me. Guys, have a great day. Take care.